It's called City Hall to Go, and starting tomorrow, it can bring a selected menu of city services to you. Here to tell us more from the mayor's office is Molly Murphy. Molly, welcome.
Thank you. Hi, Joe.
I've seen this thing, pictures of it. Looks like a decommissioned police truck. It looks like a food truck, really, but no food. What does it have?
We get asked all the time if there's food on it. The food truck craze, when it hit Boston, we looked at that and realized how popular it was, and we wanted to capitalize on that. So we took what looks like a food truck, but we turned it into a city service vehicle. And you can come to the truck, you can apply to get a birth certificate, a death certificate, you could pay a parking ticket, you could get a dog license, you can apply for a resident permit sticker. Any service that you could come into City Hall for, we're trying to provide it on the truck.
Surprisingly, I read this is a first-in-the-nation deal for folks who don't travel downtown too much. Sounds practical. First in the nation for us? Wow.
No one's told us that we're not the first in the nation, so we're keeping that up.
Okay.
But we've actually gotten inquiries from people all over the country, all into Canada, asking us how we did it, what they need to do. It saves time, it's practical. The mayor's always challenging us to figure out new ways to deliver services to city residents, and this was an idea that someone on the staff had, and everyone kind of ran with it and to see what we could make work.
It starts tomorrow, but I guess there was a soft rollout in December. So what did you folks learn in your soft rollout?
Sure. So starting in December, we went out about once a week, and we really wanted to get a sense of how people would use it, what services they'd want to use, and also when it would be best used and where. So we tried different ways of getting the word out on locations, different times that we thought would work. And what we really heard was that people wanted it on weeknights after work and on Saturdays. So that's when we put out the job descriptions, we hired staff that would fit those hours. So people will be able to use it on weeknights until 7 and all day on Saturdays.
I guess the thing starts, I'll get to the schedule later, but I think the thing starts tomorrow at 12:30 in Alston. I'm old enough to remember little city halls, and there was a trailer on Harvard Ave in Alston. Mm-hmm. How are these trucks in general, how are they improvements over the stationary little city halls of the late 60s and into the 70s?
I think the best thing about the truck is that it can constantly be changed to adapt to whatever the need is in a certain neighborhood. We can move it from location to location. So for example, we installed new resident permit signs on a certain street, so we just took the truck directly to that street. So residents didn't have to go down to a stationary building that was the little city hall. They could come right outside their door and apply for it there. And we can also change it based on what the need is during a certain time of year. It could be targeted towards summer programming. It could be targeted towards signing up for the public schools. Whatever we need, that's the best part about it being mobile.
It sounds like the truck can do a lot of things. I noticed there's no cash transactions, and I guess that sounds kind of reasonable. It invite crime, but are there any other sort of obviously routine-sounding things that the truck doesn't do? It's a tough one.
I think the most common thing we get asked about is property taxes, and we don't take property tax payments on the truck because of the size of some of the payments. And we are trying to expand the services that we accept credit cards for. But our goal at the truck is if you have something that you want us to do, come to us, ask. If we don't do it, we're going to try and figure out a way, because if we don't do it on the truck, then maybe the way we currently do it is too cumbersome, and we can use the truck as a catalyst to push change internally as well.
Now there's a set schedule, and again I'm going to ask you how people can get that, but there's also the schedule can sort of be tweaked a little bit by response to the truck.
That's right.
How does that part of it work?
So we didn't want to overbook the truck, so on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays of weeks 1 through 4 of every month, the truck will be in set locations. So you'll always know on the second Wednesday of a month where it'll be. And then on Fridays and Saturdays, we can either use that as rain dates if one of the days during the week didn't work, or for a special event, whether it's a park opening, an event, even if it's a Saturday on City Hall Plaza, we could bring the truck out to something like that. And then the last Tuesday of the month, I believe, is a Twitter request day, and whatever location gets the most Twitter requests, we'll bring the truck there at 12:30 that afternoon.
One thing that just occurred to me, City Hall folks, hard workers, don't mean to refer to them as bureaucrats, but you think of narrow channels, but the people who work in this truck have to be familiar with a wide variety of different city services.
They do,
How do you
yeah.
find your people?
So they do have to be generalists. We got over 100 resumes, so we really went through a lot of people to get a sense of who had the customer service skills. We just want people who are going to be friendly, engaging, that'll not just take the money order and say, thanks, you paid your parking ticket, but if you're at the truck with your 3 children, or your kids signed up for camp, do you know about our summer programs? What else can we do? So we can train people to understand the questions they need to ask, and we can create computer systems to make sure the right prompts are in place so that people submit all the correct paperwork. But the big thing is we really wanted people to come to the truck and feel like they had a positive experience with City Hall.
Well, it sounds like it'll really help a lot of people. So how do they find out when it's going to be in Grove Hall, when it's going to be in Hyde Park?
Sure. So you can go to the city's website, so cityofboston.gov/City Hall to go. We also are on Twitter at City Hall to go, and we've put the word out to all the local neighborhood newspapers so that they can publish it as well.
Sounds good. City Hall comes to you,
Yes.
but no food. Thanks very much. From the Mayor's office, Molly Murphy. Up next, high school sports with Pat Flaherty after this message.